really.
Got your name wrong, but I have a decent one.
I'd like to call to order the reorganization meeting for Concord Township. If we could all please, well, start with the Pledge of Allegiance. We'll go a little out of order. Okay. We're going to swear the new officers in, I'm being told. We have four people are supposed to be sworn in tonight. John Crossan is out of town, but per the Township Code, he was sworn in on December 20th by Wendy Roberts, and we have his oath of office here that's executed. That will turn over to the Township Manager. That being said, we have to swear in our newly elected council people. I think we'll start with Mr. Crossan, Mr. Harding, since he's on the end there. Rich, you ready?
Right here. Place up there, place your hand on the Bible. I United States.
Pete, would you like to go next, please? You have somebody who's going to hold the Bible for you?
And where United States. Fidelity. Good.
No, just take the newbies. While Amanda's taking the pictures, I want to thank Judge Capelli for coming out this evening. Our former district justice and now is on the Court of Common Pleas and a Concord resident. Okay. All right. Proceed with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Concord Township is recording their meeting. If anyone else is doing so, just asked to identify themselves, and there's no problem with recording the meeting. However, we would just like it to be non-disruptive to the course of the conduct of the meeting. First item on the agenda is a motion for election of President of Council.
I move that we support and defend Dominic Pileggi as president of our council for the year 2020.
Do we have a second?
Second motion.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Next is a motion for vice presidents of council.
I'd like to motion to appoint John Crossan and John Gillespie as co-vice presidents.
Do we have a second?
Second motion.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
John, I think you're going to handle item number 2, appointment of township officials. We'll do all these as one motion, which we have done in the past.
Okay, this will be a rather long motion. Township Manager, Secretary and Open Records Officer Amanda Sirach. Assistant Township Manager, Acting Township Manager Terry Grant. Township Treasurer, Finance Director Henry Deal. Tax Collector Lou Girolami. Certified Public Accountants for Financial Auditing Leitzel and Economides. Vacancy Board Chair Marge Frank. Building Code Official, Director, Zoning Officer, Floodplain Administrator Manos Cavadias. Emergency Management Coordinator Fred Field. Fire Marshal and Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator Robert Bassick. Deputy Fire Marshal, SCO, and Property Safety and Maintenance Director James Callahan. Animal Control Officer Brandywine Valley SPCA and Alan Strickler. Township Solicitor and Alternate Open Records Officer Donahue and Labrum, LLP, UA Donahue. Sewer Department Solicitor Gerald Montella. Zoning Hearing Board Solicitor Raymond J. Falzone, Jr. Alternate Zoning Hearing Board Solicitor Sean O'Neill. Planning Commission Solicitor Michael Wraith. Township and Traffic Engineer Pannoni Associates, Inc., Nate Klein. Alternate Sewage Enforcement Officer Pannoni Associates, Inc., John Renzo. Township Sewer Engineer Bradford Engineering Walt Fasler. Township Land Planner, Landscaping and Lighting Services, Thomas Comita Associates, Thomas Comita. Third-party inspection and plan reviewer for accessibility, Pannoni Associates, Inc. Third-party electrical inspector, Code Inspections, Inc., and United Inspection Agency.
In the form of a motion, Mr. Gillespie, do we have a second? Second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Next is establishment of bonds for township officials.
I recommend the motion to establish bonds in the amount of $1 million, Township Treasurer, $825,005.60, Tax Collector.
Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, item number 5, which is the designation of fire EMS services. Mr. Mahoney, I think you have that one?
Yes. Recommend a motion to designate Concordville Fire and Protective Association for fire EMS services, Concord Township residents.
We have a second.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Dana, I think you were going to handle the next one, please?
Yep. Recommend to designate the News and Press of Delaware County and Delaware County Times.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Mike, I think you were going to handle that number, that 7th?
I am, Mr. President. I'd like to make a motion to appoint John Gillespie as the official delegate to the PSATS Annual Convention.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Next on the agenda is Township Council approvals. First on the item on the agenda is total expenditures for the month of $999,319.06. December payroll, which is made up of a December payroll of $258,872.13. Current bills totaling $597,184.20. And sewer bills totaling $143,262.73. A motion to make those expenditures.
So moved.
We have a second.
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Monthly activity report, I do not see anyone here from the state police. Sewer Department, Mr. Gillespie.
Yes, excuse me, I have the monthly activity report for December. Both the main plant and Riviera plant continue to meet discharge requirements within the parameters of the NPDES permit, and the operations staff performed 10 lateral inspections as required for resale certification, with 1 broken lateral pipe replacement, and a pilot study is underway to possibly reduce chemical costs in the future. And also, we just received a letter December 30th from the Department of Environmental Protection saying that the plan to propose to extend public sewer to 149 existing dwellings in Penn's Grant 1 and 2 and sewer districts 11 and 12 as described in the Act 537 plan update has been approved. So the next step in that project would be to complete the plans and specs, put it out for bids, and we'll should be seeing some sewer construction in the spring, summer months. End of report.
Thank you, John. Code Enforcement, Mano Cavadias.
President, council members, and fellow residents. December 2019, Department of Code Enforcement issued 13 building permits, 11 plumbing permits, 10 mechanical permits, 20 electrical permits, 1 standalone fire permit, and 1 standalone zoning permit, 56 in total. We issued 13 resale certs for residential units, 5 for commercial units. Also issued 2 sign permits, 1 special event permit. And finally, we issued 18 certificates of occupancy, 4 for residential. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mano. Planning Commissioner, Mr. Juleson.
Mr. President, members of council, members of the community. As there were no plans to be reviewed, the Planning Commission agenda meeting scheduled for Monday, December 9th, Monday, December 15th, canceled. The agenda meeting will be held on January 15th. Public meeting will be held on January 21st, because the holiday on the 20th. The caucus meeting with council January 20th. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. Solicitor, Mr. Donahue, any report?
Good evening. Yes, please be advised that Concord Ventures has filed the anticipated appeal. Also be advised that Mr. Jonas has filed to intervene. Thank you.
Township Engineer, Mr. Klein.
Good evening. Just a few updates. First, with the break in the weather, we're going to continue with the pickleball courts outside the township building here, working on some of the brickwork, water line, trench drain installation. Over at the dog park and the volleyball court project, that's on hold, but we have resolved the trail issue. There was some ponding on the trail, some residents were complaining about. We have resolved that. Regarding the Pierce Willits house, we did receive bids for these structural repairs. Over at the Pierce Willits house, we'll also be installing the bell tower. So that's a go. And then 2 follow-ups from last meeting. One was the signal at the intersection of Powell and Baltimore Pike. We believe we have resolved that. We'll keep an eye on that. I think that was Mr. Hemphill who had that complaint. I don't see him here this evening. We'll keep an eye on that one, but we think that we have that resolved. The second one was Baltimore Pike and Schoolhouse Lane. We had received complaints regarding near misses and accidents at that intersection. We did look at the data, and oddly enough, the amount of crashes at that intersection has reduced since the last time we looked at it. So we do not think there's a high probability of signalization or anything along those lines. However, we could submit a request to PennDOT for a safety analysis of that intersection and the vicinity. That's a pretty simple process. PennDOT would take a look at it, make any recommendations. The one caveat with that recommendation is that they could come back and, for example, ban lefts out of Schoolhouse on the Baltimore Pike and change some of the maybe commuting patterns or ways that people north of Baltimore Pike there travel. So I would just need the green light whether to make that request of PennDOT or not.
What's everyone think? Should we request the safety study from PennDOT at that intersection?
I concur.
Everybody okay with letting Nate? All right, Nate.
Okay, and that's a
let it
pretty
go.
quick one, and PennDOT doesn't get back to me quickly, but it's a quick thing to submit.
Okay, sounds good.
Last one, if I may, PennDOT did give us an update, and I believe we put that out on social media. Tomorrow would be a good day to avoid 322. They'll be doing single lane between Spring Valley Road and Cambridge Drive for part of the bridge replacement. That could extend into Wednesday. So between 9 and 3, there'll be a single lane on 322 at that location. So tomorrow would be a good day to avoid 322. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Township Manager Amanda.
Hi, I just want to say happy, healthy New Year to everyone. We just got through a decade. I have a 10-year-old, so it's been a big decade for my family, but happy New Year, everyone. It's good to see new faces and older faces in the room. Two things I want to report. One, we are hosting a blood drive here at the Township Building in February. I figure that should be good for Valentine's Month, Heart Month. We're hosting that on February 11th from 2 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. We hope we get a lot of township residents to join us in trying to help others, which they need blood all the time. So I think it's a good thing, and we're hoping we get a lot of folks to come out. We'll have information on the website, and we'll push it out on social media. Also, speaking of social media, I just want to remind residents that if you have any issues or you see anything or you have questions about anything, please contact the township offices directly. We've had some random questions and things happening on other social media sites, and nothing was reported directly to us. Particularly at one of the parks, there was something wrong, and we hadn't actually been physically notified at the Township Building to fix that. So I just want to make sure folks remember we still like human interaction here at Concord Township. So I would prefer, instead of posting it on social media, if you'd give us a call or set up a meeting, I'm happy to help anyone anytime. That's all I have to report. Thanks.
Okay, I think I missed one of the items on the agenda earlier. Appointments to committee, which is item number 3. And need a motion to do so. I think the appointments to the committees were Libby Salvucci filling the vacancy for Fran Connors on the Zoning Hearing Board, term to expire February of 2024. And the following one-year appointments to the Building Board Code of Appeal, which we are required to do at every reorganization meeting. Dan Accione Jr., Joseph Barbado, Joseph Cliff, Frank Lamanna, Ray Sharp, and Michael Wraith as solicitor. We have a motion to approve those appointments.
So moved.
We have a second.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is public comment. Anyone with any questions or comments? Start over here, ma'am. Maureen, I'll get to you second. All right, Maureen. Happy New Year.
No, we're actually talking about Dream Playground. There was like a link in the chain on the child swing, and it was put on a message board instead of directly relayed to us at first, and we just want to make sure we remind folks.
Thank you. Okay, ma'am. Thank you for your name and address, please.
Good evening, everybody, and Happy New Year. My name is Shweta Arya. I'm a resident of Garner Valley. I live on 9 Forwood Drive, Garner Valley. I, along with some folks, community members, we have formed a Concord Green team. And so if anybody wants to join that, I have a flyer here. So we've come to know about that there's a tree fund held at the Township Council, and it's over $500 million.
No, not if it was $500 million. Great, $500,000.
$500,000. Okay. That's good. So I think our planet is at a crisis right now, and it's literally burning. So we can utilize that fund to plant some trees, and Concord Green Team can work with you on that. We've identified we could utilize some of that money to plant trees at some of the school sites for outdoor education. That works both ways. It benefits the school, plant some trees, and work with outdoor education, if that's something. But we
I
would
think
like
it's something
to
we would consider. I would request that you send an email outlining your program to Amanda, and the board can discuss it at a workshop meeting, and we can get back to you. Sounds like it's an avenue with which we've never explored to use some of the tree money, and might be able to be a perfect match. So I appreciate that you're bringing that to our attention.
Perfect.
Please send it to Amanda.
All right, perfect, I'll do that.
Thank
There are
you.
a couple other things that I want to talk about. Last year, I think I heard it in the discussion and I volunteered for it, that the Open Space Committee will at some time become EAC, Environmental Advisory Committee,
Okay. Yeah, we did talk about that. We never
but
made,
it never moved further. So my question was that what is the delay?
we'll revisit. We got very busy with other items last year, and it just was not on our top list of things to do. We had most of last year was tied up with the hearings for the Concord Venture site. It's sometimes we were meeting 2-3 times a month, but we will put it back. Amanda, you can put that on a future agenda item for the council to discuss, and perhaps refresh the memories or reestablish what this was all about to new members on council, and we'll get right back on it.
Right. I think that'll be great. EAC could also handle the tree planting. And my third item was, I was here last and we talked about the plastic bag ban for
Right.
Concord Township, and I wanted to follow up and see where that is.
That, again, would have to be resurrected this year. I think we continued that hearing indefinitely, John. That was your baby.
Yes, we did have a hearing in front of the public, and we had a lot of great ideas. And we're actually waiting for the state of Pennsylvania, going to pass some state regulations, take effect in July. So that'll be resurrected up in the following months until we get some more direction from the state of Pennsylvania.
So,
We did not forget about it. It's just
okay,
ready to go yet.
perfect. I'm happy to know that. All right, that is
Thank
all
you.
from me. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Someone else? Karis? No, ma'am? Oh, Karis, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while.
Evening. I'm Carlin Smith, Mendenhall Drive in Glen Mills. I have a question. I watch a good bit of TV. I have Verizon. I noticed on some of those off channels, like channels actually 30 through 46, that a lot of townships have their own channel.
Mhm.
Chester, Upper Church, Marcus, Bethel, Aston. And I was just wondering, since there are 2 open channels, they say that they're open for public or education, why Concord Township doesn't have a channel for announcing events, school closings, or whatever.
Very good question. We've never been asked that before, but I do think as part of our franchise agreements, we do have channels dedicated to ourselves. I think the school district actually has a channel, if I'm not mistaken, too. So we'll look into that. Can you get some information on that for us?
Yeah, I think channel 43, and there's another one, I'm not sure, I think maybe 33, but they say that they are open for public
Sure.
discussions. I do. I assume that it's the same one, the
Yeah,
Comcast, that
it
they
wouldn't be
have
the
their...
same number. It wouldn't be the same
It
number.
wouldn't be the same numbers, but they probably have the same, at least 1 or 2 open channels.
All right, Amanda, you got that?
But it's just that I feel, well, if all the others have them, why don't we? Is there a reason why we haven't?
No. Never a request for it. Never did it.
Yeah, I don't know the particulars. I don't know whether you have to pay for this
Nope.
or this is...
It's part of our franchise agreement. We get a channel.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd be all for it. So, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Evening. My name is Kevin Voigt. I'm at. First of all, I'd like to thank Amanda for a lot of paper went in, a lot of work. Thank you very much for your assistance. I'm going to make a statement, and then I have some questions for after I make my statement. Can't hear me?
Have to get closer.
I'm sorry. Let me. Is this better? Okay. Very uncomfortable. I'll make this, okay. So the statement I would like to make here, I stand here in opposition to the continued awarding of professional contracts on with no request for proposal, continue award of the same professionals year after year. I understand that law does not require request for proposal or such matters, but I think the continued awarding of these contracts, again, year after year, is something that I think goes against the open and fairness and everything that I think Concord Township should look to and potentially stand for. With that being said, I respectfully request that council consider a motion or an amendment, rather get the right term, a resolution next hearing that committee established look into establishing a procedure or protocol to develop a request for proposal procedure so that for the 2021 awarding of contracts to the professionals can be done in a fair manner. That open and fair bidding process, I believe, best in Concord Township. A comment, like I said, I know it's not required by law, but I think that would be the best thing here. So I ask you, I know we have a working session between now and next month. Consider opting a resolution to establish a panel of experts. Look into this matter, paperwork, framework. With that being said, I do have a few questions. Mr. Klein and wording of the contracts.
To us, I mean.
No, I'd rather.
Well,
it's only a few
let's see
questions.
what the first direction goes in.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there.
Well, so since there was no opportunity to ask questions,
Okay.
prior to awarding the contract, a few questions regarding his contract.
Well, let's see how it goes.
Okay. So, Mr. Klein, how long has been held contract being township engineer?
It's not a contract. I believe we've been appointed going on at least maybe 13, 14 years. I'd have to go back and check my records.
Okay. Just really briefly, can you please tell me your what you consider your top 3 accomplishments
For Concord Township?
for Concord Township?
Wasn't prepared to answer that.
I think that there are questions that the board has had answered in their own mind. I don't,
in what form would these questions
I
have
think
been
we
answered?
would be more than happy to ask these questions. I don't think it's appropriate to take the time here doing it now. These are questions you want to know personally. Please email.
Well, no,
Amanda?
I want to understand why, after 13 years, companies haven't been advanced.
Because as one of the members that has been here the longest, very happy with their performance. This is not a kind of job that you give to the lowest responsible bidder. This is someone that we hire on the basis of their past performance. And trust me,
So does
trust me,
does
in
everyone
my
else on
business,
township
in my
bear municipal
business,
issues?
in my
Well,
business,
excuse me.
I only hire people that will do the job, and I'm not looking for the lowest price.
Understand. Okay, does everybody else on council share the opinion that we should continue to award these contracts without fair and open?
I feel it's cost effective. It's cost effective. Sometimes if you hire somebody new, it might take twice the time to do the same job.
Mr. Wood, isn't it obvious that each of us voted yes for the appointment?
I just want to understand. Everyone agree?
Yeah.
Agree? Agree?
Agreed.
Okay. So you have absolutely no problem. 13 years, same people, or the same contracts year after year?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Klein, very quick question for you. Does Pannoni, Klein, does anyone from Pannoni donate to Concord Republican Party?
No, we're not going here.
No.
We're not going here.
It's a fair question. In
You know-
any fair and open
You know the answer. Why don't you tell us
RFP,
if they have?
in any fair and open RFP, you would be required to disclose
But there is no
political
RFP
contribution.
for this job.
It's a
We're
simple
not
yes or no question.
required by state law to put this out to bid. Maybe in Jersey they do, but we don't have to put this out to bid.
So that's where we're going to leave it?
That's where I'm leaving it. I think concurrence of the board is right now, these are the appointed officials. I'd also like to point out that in the reorganization meeting in 2019, last year, and the reorganization in 2018, these same people were unanimously approved to serve in the same job. And it was a different makeup of the board then. If you have any other questions regarding Mr. Pannoni, I'm talking to this gentleman here. If you have any other questions regarding Mr. Pannoni, I suggest you send an email to Amanda or Nate, and they'll be happy to answer them. I'd like to move on with the agenda now. Anyone else, public comment? Yes, sir. Donald. Donnelly. Hi, Chris. Happy New Year, buddy.
Dana, Mike, congratulations. Welcome. Looking forward to seeing you monthly. Sure, we're going to have more good days than have it.
Your lips to God's ears. From his lips to God's ears.
Welcome to the sequel. The sequel's on steroids from last year's. I guess they let you go on this one. I'm glad to see the Facebook bullies have actually shown up. I think this is his second. It's ridiculous what you guys have to put up with. And for anyone to question Nate or his company, or you, his company, just haven't been to enough. I've been coming the better part of these fall of 2000 when the Beaver Valley project. And I can tell you whether I was with you or against you. I always took the time to explain things to where my 10-year-old grandson. I want to let you know I appreciate that. So why do you keep getting hired? Maybe it's because you're pretty damn good at what you do. Why did Mike Trout get signed by the Angels for so many years? Because he bats .305, 5 home runs. Nate, I wrote a note down because when you were doing your little spiel there, you followed up with 2 points from last meeting when the gentleman that you were needed to address wasn't even here. Follow-up is impeccable always. So I'm sure Josh wrote the notes for the guy before me, but it's sickening. So Happy New Year. Sorry you're going through this. I want to let you know I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Josh, would you like to come forward, please? Name and address, please.
Josh Twersky, resident and council member from 2018 through 2019.
Need your street address.
1, be patient, please. 1 Cedar Grove Drive, Concord Township. Following comments will be part of an ongoing presentation regarding what I have titled the 3 C's of Concord Township Council. Those are corruption, cronyism, and conflicts of interest. Tonight I will comment on 3. First, builder Dominic Pileggi has been president of the council now for 21 years.
22.
That's not a president, that's like a king. I guess that all 6 of the remaining council members are either too incompetent or too lazy to be president of this council for at least a year. That's corruption, cronyism, and conflicts of interest.
Your next one.
Second, let's talk about the tree fund, or as I call it, no tree fund.
We already dealt with the tree fund. What
This
else do you
fund
have?
has been around well in excess of 10 years, and nary a tree has been planted from this fund in the township. It has helped developers to nearly pave over the whole township. How does the tree fund work? In basic terms, Concord Township law requires so many trees to remain on a site after development is complete. However, if council approves, a developer can simply pay $500 per tree, regardless of size, that they don't want to keep, into the no tree fund and go ahead with their bigger project. A classic example of this pay-to-play scheme is the recent development of the old Turf Club site. The developers wanted to put a bigger building on that site than currently existed. Doing the bigger building made it impossible to comply with the tree requirements. So instead of council demanding that the developer scale back the project, they simply took a $15,000 check and stuck it into the no tree fund. Concord Township got a big building and lighting that looks like a forest fire every evening, and a fund that now, after many, many, many similar developer givebacks, has, hold on to your hats, over $532,000. That equates to the council being bought off to the tune of 1,000 trees. About 18 months ago, I brought to light this no tree fund scam, and you had a tree plan that interestingly was created for free by the township landscape engineer who has had that contract for over 30 years. I thought at the time the emails between Dom, landscape engineer, and council were obviously a joke and a cover-up. Obviously, that is the truth, since the tree canopy in Concord Township continues to be obliterated. That's corruption, cronyism, and conflicts of interest. Third and lastly, professional services contract. The township hires many different professionals, an attorney, AKA the solicitor, engineers for sewers, engineers for land planning, and a certified public accountant to audit the books, just to name a few. Some of these contracts are in excess of $100,000. None of these jobs are bid out. Repeat, none of these jobs are bid out. This is a practice that is the poster child of the 3 C's. Let me tell you how this works. Remember learning about the triangle slave trade in elementary school? Slaves to the Americas, sugar to New England, and rum and goods back to Africa? Well, Concord Township Council has its own triangular trade when it comes to professional services contracts. It goes like this. No bid professional services contracts awarded by Concord Council members who get endorsements, campaign funds, and related campaign infrastructure from the local Republican Party, and then the party gets cash and in-kind contributions back from the no-bid contract professional. I have a question of the solicitor. Has the new council had any executive sessions? When and how did they occur?
The new council did not become the council until they were sworn in this evening. And I'm not here, I'll listen to what you have to say, but I'm not here, sir, to answer your questions.
So check out the agenda for tonight's meeting. You have it in front of you, right? Look at Roman numeral number 2, appointment of township officials and professionals. Then look at Roman numeral number 9, monthly activity reports, letter E and F. This agenda was posted this past Friday. How did you know Hugh Donahue was going to be the solicitor and Pinoni Associates, the township engineer? Corruption, cronyism, and conflicts of interest.
Josh, I don't know where to start, but I guess I'll start where I left off the rest of the year. I find it very interesting that from 2015 through 2017, you gave to the Concord Township Republican Party in excess of $2,100. I guess back then, it was all okay because everything that you're complaining about now was happening then. I just feel very bad that the one thing that hasn't sunk in with you is you lost. You did not get reelected. You lost in the primary, you did not get reelected, and you chose not to run as a Democrat. But I want to say one thing. There's a lot of good people in this room that could do a lot of good in Concord Township, but you're drinking this Kool-Aid. And if you ever look at the ingredients in Kool-Aid, there's a lot of bad stuff in there. And the worst thing that this guy has in his Kool-Aid is sour grapes that he lost. That's what this is all about. He got beat, people didn't elect him, and now he's going to be a nudge for the rest of the year. But we'll deal with it. We've dealt with it before. We'll deal with it again. Anyone else with any other public comments? Seeing none, we're going to move on with the agenda. Under new business, resolution number 1 is a resolution appointing as township manager for the year 2020, Amanda Sirach. Her salary was negotiated last year. She has a 2-year contract. She's in the second year of the contract with an annual compensation of $120,000. Do I have a motion to approve resolution number 1?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second motion.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 2 is the depositories for fiscal year 2020. We resolved the TD Bank, DNB Bank, United Savings Bank, Ironworkers Bank, Univest Bank and Trust, Franklin Mint Credit Union, and Pennsylvania Local Government Investment Trust, that they be the depositories for the year. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Do we have a second?
Aye.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I second.
Next item on the agenda is the tax collector compensation. It's a base rate of $3 per bill, interim at $3 per bill, duplicates $10 for every non-resident duplicate bill, $25 for every expedited. Tax certifications, $10 for every non-resident, $25 for every expedited, and a research fee of $25. Do I have a motion to approve tax collector compensation?
So move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 4 is establishing the local services tax collector as Berkheimer for the year 2020. Motion to do so.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Number 5, also to appoint Berkheimer for the admission amusement tax collector. Is there a motion to do so?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 6 is establishing all the fees for Concord Township for the year. And Amanda, if I'm not mistaken, there were no increases in fees?
No, and in fact, there were some decreases with the resolution you passed earlier as it relates to the tax collector and duplicate inserts.
Okay. Do I have a resolution to approve resolution number 6? Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 7 is the sewer rate fee. I think the only thing that is probably changed in there would be the EDU fee, or the tapping fee. And that will be
That is correct.
$4,675 per equivalent dwelling unit. I think we calculate that at the end of the calendar year, and we change it once during the year. Motion to approve resolution number 7. Do I have a motion to do so? Second.
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 8 is the professional services fee. Do I have a motion to approve them?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor, say aye. Resolution number 9, the IRS millage reimbursement rate at 57.5 cents per mile. We have a motion to approve resolution number 9.
So moved.
We have a second.
Second.
We have a second.
Second.
Oh, second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 10, this is for the application for county aid. I guess this is our share of the liquid fuels money. Correct, Amanda? Be in the amount of $20,000. Do I have a motion to approve resolution number 10, the application for county aid? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 11 is the township meetings and observed holiday schedule. They're all recited in the resolution. I'm assuming these will all be posted on the website for anyone that really is interested in figuring out when night the Park and Rec Board meets in August. We have a motion to approve that schedule.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Review number 12 is the Saladini Builders Notice of Default. Do you want to maybe walk us through that for a few minutes, or?
Sure, and Nate can chime in when necessary, but this was a private building project that was conducted in Concord Township by Saladini Builders. I believe there were 4 homes involved, 4 different properties. Problems developed at those property sites. There was excess water retention on the lots. The township engineer came to the determination that these were not graded properly. The Saladini organization was requested on numerous occasions to make the necessary repairs. If they made the repairs, they weren't done properly. So the township was forced to bring in someone else to perform the repairs. We do that also by going after the bond, so there is no payment by the taxpayers. And the purpose of this resolution is to provide the bank with the necessary authority from this council that, yes, we're moving on the bond that was posted by Saladini. The bond that's in effect is approximately $60,000. The repairs that have been done to date are approximately $19,000. and there may be additional repairs required with the spring thaw. Is that a fair summation, Mr. Klein?
That's accurate.
So resolution number 12 is we will be formally requesting the $19,900 that was the cost of making the repairs, and will be against the $62,000 plus letter of credit posted by the developers required by the ordinance. We have a motion to approve resolution number 12.
So moved.
We have a second.
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 13 is basically to ratify something we did in December. Amanda, do you want to go through this, or?
Sure, I'm happy to. So basically, in December, council made a motion and a decision at the December regular meeting to transfer monies per the fund balance policy. So basically, you're just ratifying that decision in the form of resolution. The monies have already been moved.
Okay, so need a motion to approve resolution number 13, which just memorializes the fund balance policy that was acted on at the December end of month meeting?
Third regular meeting.
December 3rd regular meeting. Do I have a
So
motion?
moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Gillespie, you will take care of O,
Need
P,
to-
and Q? Oh, I
No, you need,
authorize,
uh,
yeah.
Planning
Forgot-
Commission.
forgot one. We need to, a motion to authorize the advertisement for an ordinance amendment to the Planning Commission makeup. We are going to change the Planning Commission from a 9-member commission to a 7-member commission in order to help them better with their quorum. Having a hard time getting 5, plus the workload is down tremendously from 15, 20 years ago. So we would need a motion to authorize the advertisement of that ordinance. Do you have a motion?
So moved.
You have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please signify
Aye.
by saying aye.
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 All right, John, you're going to take care of O, P, and Q.
Sure. Certificate for payment. This is the Township Park Improvements, certificate for payment number 3, and contract change order number 3. This is for Lecmonic, the contractor. We have $86,642.66, payment number 3, and we have a change order. No, we don't have a change order. That's in the form of a motion. Payment of $86,642.66 to Lecmonic.
Do we have a second?
Second motion.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And we have a payment to Miller Brothers, payment number 2, which is a final, the amount of $7,684.82 for the adaptive traffic control system installation. That's in the form of a motion.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, item number P, John.
Yes, and we have a bid award. Township received bids for the annual sanitary sewer excavation and repair contract. We have a letter from our sewer engineer recommending that more construction be awarded the contract. They've been performing successfully for the past 15 years, have the equipment and experience necessary to perform under this contract. We have a choice of year 1, 2, or 3.
Can I just clarify something? So Moore has, in his letter, he's just noting they've been working in the area for the last 15 years, but you haven't had them as a contractor for the last 15.
Correct.
So this contract has only been in place, I think, for the last several years. And tonight you have the option to award it for 1, 2, or 3, just to clarify.
Okay, the recommendation is to award a 3-year contract in the amount of $57,260. That's in the form of a motion.
We have a second.
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 On financial security release for homes.
Yes, we have a security release for Home 2 Suites, which is the new hotel very close to Wegmans. I'm sure people have gone by that. This is the first release. The amount of $1,155,391.55. This is for site demolition, earthwork, erosion control, site clearing, storm sewer, manholes, inlets, head walls, water, curbing, paving, miscellaneous striping, signage, and lighting. After this release, we will have a balance of $217,192.42. So that's in the form of a motion.
Hey, I'm surprised they waited this long. They're already, first one
They're-
they,
Rock Capital.
Rock Capital, yeah, they didn't need the move. So, anyway, we have a motion, we have a second.
Second motion.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Accept this complete for filing. Number one, Astoria Kennet conditional use application. That is for the medical building with the overnight stay on 202, just north of, southbound side of 202, just north of the state line. And the other is to accept a small flow stream discharge application for a project at 11 Waterwheel Way. We have a motion to accept those.
So moved.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
No other council matters. Upcoming township meeting and events are posted in the agenda. To the biggest, we will be closed on January 20th for the Martin Luther King holiday. And the council agenda meeting is January 28th in this room at 7 p.m. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Thank you for coming out.
Aye.
That was a whimper.